Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. Today, we will be taking all this siding off and replacing it with Hardie siding, and then we're going to paint all that. It's going to be beautiful. We're so very excited. So, for just 15 cents a day, for 15 pennies a day, you can feed an African child. I guess they eat pennies. When I was over there, I didn't see them eat pennies, but I've heard that, and I don't know if it's true. All right, so what we're going to have to do, this is all vinyl siding and soffit. We're going to take all this off, and we're going to make it pretty again. We're going to put new soffit and new paint and everything on there. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So look, I know it's Monday morning. A lot of you guys want to cry about that. Go ahead, cry all you want. You'll pee less. You guys are still watching us?
I would.
Yeah, I would. We're pretty interesting people. All right, so across here, we just had a micro tornado come through. It was a Hurricane MJ, which is for Mike and John. Tornado MJ.
Micro tornado.
It's a micro tornado. Very good. So we tore all this stuff off, not all of it, but enough that we could fill our truck. Let's take a look at that. That's safety right there. We care about safety and we care about you. All right, so what you want to talk about? Anything? What's on your heart? Christina, what's on your heart? Good things?
Tailgating.
Tailgate. No, we don't want to talk about tailgating. Let's talk about something else that's more important. Johnny Appleseed. You want to talk about Johnny Appleseed?
Yeah.
All right, good. So as you guys know, Johnny Appleseed was like, apples are delicious and healthy, and they keep the doctors away. Everybody wants that. And so he's like, I'm going to make it my life's goal to just put apple seeds everywhere, to just plant them everywhere. And because of him, there are a lot of apple trees, especially up in Washington. So he said, you can count the seeds in an apple, but you can't count the apples in a seed because they just keep reproducing, right? So then the question is, what are you doing in your life that keeps reproducing? Are you doing bad things? We're not happy about this. Are you doing good things? We are happy about this, right? Yeah. We should play a little game. This is a fun game. Okay, so in this game, I'm going to name a fruit or vegetable, and then you tell me what state is popular for that fruit or vegetable, and then afterwards you say, and you're the pimp. So let's start with something easy like oranges. What state is popular for oranges?
California.
Florida. So you would say Florida and you're the pimp. That's how it works. Got it? So let's try something else. No. We got to do this right. Okay, so next. Peaches.
Texas.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Georgia peach.
No, they lie.
No, you say Georgia and you're the pimp. That's how this works. Okay, so then let's try apples. And now I already just gave you the hint. What?
Washington.
And?
Texas.
No, Washington and?
Texas.
You're the pimp. You say Washington and you're the pimp.
Oh, and you're the pimp.
That's how it works, okay? Finally. Good Lord. Let's try some vegetables. All right, so potatoes.
Idaho. You're the pimp.
What? Did you just say Idaho and you're the pimp? Good job. All right, we're going to go do our part to end world hunger, and we're going to go eat lunch. Love you. Good morning. So, up until this point, I have not been a basic white girl, but we went on a quest for Starbucks because science. And here I am, and now let's just see if this works. I've never actually drank coffee before, and especially not Starbucks coffee. Actually, it's hot chocolate, full disclosure, but let's just see what happens. Oh, you know, I asked for 2 pumps of mocha latte and with the salted rim, and they only gave me 4 half pumps. So I don't know if I'm really happy about that. Anyway, yesterday we put some siding on, but it was late by the time we got done. So we put some siding on, we're gonna keep going. It's gonna look way better afterwards. Now, Mike, do you have problems sometimes with remembering things these days because it was your birthday yesterday?
Not because of my birthday, but yeah.
Yeah, right, so this will help you, and it will help all of you guys watching get a memory foam mattress, right? You'll be laying there, you remember all kinds of stuff. Like, I really regret this thing, and this thing, and this thing. It'll be mostly regrets. They should just call it a regret foam mattress. Anyway, we're gonna do some work because this isn't gonna last forever. Good morning. So, we're clearly putting up some siding. We've got some felt up there. That's good. That's a vapor barrier. And we're pretty happy about our progress. And I see this sometimes in life, and it makes me sad. I want to cry for other people because I'm like, you poor thing. But then it happened to me. I'm sorry. This is really an emotional time for me. I lost my soul, and I don't know how to get it back where it needs to be. I don't even know where you put the soul. What in the devil just stole my soul. I blame Obama. Oh, you guys are still watching us. Okay, so today we got some siding up here. We have not trimmed out yet.
I understand this. We also got a little bit of siding here. We've got some felt up, synthetic felt. And I know that a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, John, you didn't finish, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't look perfect yet. We know it's not done. So look, this reminds me of some scripture. The Bible says some things that are kind of important. It says, husbands, love your wives. It says, wives, respect your husbands. And it says, fathers, don't exasperate your children. Okay? Now, it doesn't tell us things that we already do naturally, right? It says, husbands, love your wives, because we are not inclined to do that. So it reminds us, hey, love your wife. Like, tell her that you love her a lot. She'll forget. Do nice things for her. Wives, respect your husbands. We want that. We want you to say that you love us. I can't really include us in that because I'm single, but you know, guys want to be told that you love us, but we also want to be respected, right? And I see all these people, they undermine their husbands all the time. They're like, oh, he's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've got some friends and there's an opportunity for this lady to say something bad about her husband. And they've been together 25 years or something like that. And she said, why would I say anything bad about my husband? I love him. He's my hero. As far as I'm concerned, he can do no wrong. Like, he has made my life complete. And I'm like, wow. I wish more people would act like that. Anyway, the important thing here is fathers don't exasperate your children, right? This is easy for fathers to do. We forget that we didn't learn this thing till 5 years ago, and all of a sudden we expect a 5-year-old to know everything that we know. They're not going to know it. Don't wear them out. Give them opportunity to figure it out for themselves, right? Because it is natural for us to be like, hurry up and figure it out. Daddy does it, you do it too. But it's not like that. And if we exasperate our children to the point where they're like, I give up, I can't do any good, it doesn't matter what I do, they will turn into bad kids. And really that's on you as a father who exasperates your children, because you are forcing their hand, because you don't let them have the opportunity to have enough freedom to find themselves, right? So don't do that. Don't exasperate your children. Bosses, don't exasperate your helpers, right? If you're constantly like impossible to please, no matter what they do, there's something wrong, those people will give up trying. They want to please you, but they will give up trying because there's nothing they can do to make you happy. Don't be that person. Be the good person. The people are like, I like working for you. I like being your son. I like being married to you because you're a pleasure to be around. Some of you guys might need to work on that a little bit. Some of you don't. Some of you are very inspiring. Anyway, tomorrow we're going to trim all this out, keep on working, and we're going to get around the other side, keep on going, because that's what we do. We don't give up, because quitters never win and winners never quit, or something like that.
If you don't tell your wife that you love her, you come home, some dude named Todd's in his boxers in your kitchen making a sandwich.
And he will tell your wife that he loves her.
Yeah, right.
Don't be that guy. Good morning. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. So we're putting on siding and we're putting on trim this morning because everybody was like, John, finish your work. And I'm like, fine, I'll finish my work. But I want to explain how this works. So when you're at the outside of a house, when you're in siding or trim or roof soffit or any of that kind of stuff, you want to think about water penetration. You want to keep the water outside. Even though we're made of water, it also destroys things. So the way that we do that is everywhere you get the opportunity to seal up from water, you take that opportunity. So if this board came across this way, then there'd be a seam right here, and water would eventually get into that crack and probably rot out underneath your window. So rather than that, then we have a board across here, and then this one comes all the way down, and then even if water got in here, it would just run right out. Wouldn't be a problem. You never caulk the bottom of a window, because if water does get in, you want it to be able to get out. You don't want it to hold in there. Then on the top, we come up from here to the bottom of this board, and then bring this one over top of it, so that water, we don't want water to come in here through this seam and then get back behind stuff. It's less likely to get in this way. Water can always get its way in there. So if you look around your house, like your caulk line is bad, then fix it. Just caulk it and touch up the paint. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that hard. All right, so sometimes in life, and maybe this last 2 years with our current pandemic is a good example. Sometimes in life you're going on a trajectory and you're like, I'm headed straight up. Everything's gonna be good in my life. And then all of a sudden you feel like I'm being pulled back into the yuck. Like, how am I going backwards? This is not good for me. I don't like this so much. I want you to think about this. Imagine that you've got a bow and arrow, okay? And this is my bow, and then I got my arrow. If I'm just like this and just push it forward, it will not do well. It will not hurt anybody. It won't kill whatever you want to get. It won't get to your target. But if you pull it back, and even the farther you pull it back, the harder it's going to go. And then you let go. That thing's going to launch right at its target, and it's going to go right through the heart of whatever you're trying to kill. Hopefully you're not trying to kill anything. But the moral of the story is that sometimes you have to retreat to move forward. And sometimes what feels like is bringing you back in life is actually launching you to something that you could never reach otherwise. So I hope that helps you with your day. We're going to start working again. Hey, so you're probably thinking to yourself, Self, I want to know some stuff. I wish John would teach me. Never fear. I'm here for you. Okay, so number 8. How would I, if I was a person, which I am, get water to not go into this area or back behind here? How would I do that? You don't know? I'll tell you. So this is called step flashing, okay? As you can see, there's a piece of step flashing that comes up and over, and then water can't come in here because it'll, you know, it just won't. But then you put a shingle, then you put another piece of step flashing, another shingle, another piece of step flashing, you weave that up. But then here, if it rained, water would just get right back behind here. Not great. You don't want that. So obviously we have felt over top of that, and then we'll put siding over top of that, and then water can't get down there, back up underneath, and then back in, or it's highly unlikely unless it, I don't know, floods the whole thing. But how do we figure out this angle, right? That's a good question. I've already kind of cheated here, but we'll get something that's level, right? We'll get a level on here. Like, oh, look at that, that's level. That's so weird. And then we'll carry this on out the rest of the way, and we measure this distance between this point and this point, okay? Which is, I'm gonna take a guess here. What do you think? 19 1/4? Oh my God! It's 19 1/4. And then we measure here, 19 1/4, and then we cut this line, and then once that's cut, that should fit right in there. And so then from there on out, what we're gonna do, what we're gonna do on this is we're gonna cut this, make sure that it works, and then we'll mark this as a template. And from that point forward, for all the rest of these cuts and for the cuts on the other side, we'll just trace this line and that'll be the right angle. Okay, so that's how you figure out that angle. Here in a minute, we'll test it out and see if it works. Hopefully I'm right. I don't know. So, as the prophecy foretold, the angle was correct. So we just made the template, and then we marked all these, and then look at that, they're all the same. Because once you find the pitch on something, all right, so this is kind of interesting. These old windows used to have big weights on them. See how that's a big weight on a rope? And it's actually got some, it's probably, I don't know, 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds, which doesn't seem like that much, but it is. So then it comes up around a pulley and then attaches to the window. And when you lift your window up, then, so as you lift the window up, then it goes around the pulley, and the weights help pull it on both sides. And so they're pulling down, which is pulling the window up. It's kind of how a garage door works with extension springs, but now they have torsion springs. But anyway, this is how they used to be, and now there's springs that are inside of the windows, and they help pull the window up for you too, so it's effortless. But that's what old school windows used to look like, and so now you're that much smarter. You have one more piece of trivia to add to your thing. Oh, hi there. A lot of people talk about spiritual gifts, and I'm sure that everybody has one. Hopefully you do, probably several, you just don't know about it. One of my spiritual gifts is destruction. As you can clearly tell, I destroy things. And you caught me black-handed on this one. So I want to talk to you guys about the fact that one day your pain will be part of the story of your salvation. It will be part of your story of redemption, and it will be part of the story that inspires other people and makes their lives better too. So don't be afraid of your pain, because you're not a coward. You're better than that. Christina, what you want to talk about? Literally anything. Nothing. She says, don't look at me, don't say my name. Your last name is Smith. Christina Smith. Got it. Okay. Well, I want to talk about the fact that we haven't really taken a good look at this place yet. So when we see this and it's beautiful, I want you to see it now that it's ugly. So let's take a look. Out of the way, thing. This is what it looks like now. But soon it will look beautiful. I need to get back to destroying things, because that's what I do. Oh, hey there. So, we had another micro tornado. This one didn't have Mike in it. This was just mostly me tornado. It was a John-nado. Anyway, we tore all this off and all that off, and as you can clearly tell, it's over here, safely nestled inside the truck. Nothing to see there. Look over this way. So, we are so very excited about this because when things are ugly, they're about to be made beautiful. And I can't emphasize this enough. I know I say it a lot, but oftentimes we have to, so to make something beautiful, we have to take out the ugly and take out the broken, and then we replace it all. And I want to tell you once again why I want to be cremated. This is why. Because when I die, I don't want God to have anything to work with. I want him to be like, I got to make everything new. He burned it all. Knucklehead burned every bit of it. So I'm going to make everything new and beautiful. I don't want him to be like, you know, his liver's not that bad. He didn't drink, his liver's not that bad. I want to be like, nope, I want a new one. His eyes aren't that bad. He can see pretty good. Nope, give me some new ones. His hair looks pretty good. Like, nope, give me some new hair. Whatever, every last bit of it. I want God to be like, I'm going to make you 100% new. And so that's what, we're not going to do everything new on this because we don't have the budget, but we are going to make everything new. And to do that, we're going to take away the ugly and take away the bad stuff. And so it always looks bad for a while. And you look at this, and it would be real easy to look at this and go, ugh, why even try? Why even bother? Like, somebody should just give up on that and mow it over. And I think people think that about people too. I think they look at people when they're in this shape, right? And they're trying to do something with their lives. They're trying to make something better with their lives. But instead, all people see is like at the moment. They take a snapshot of this and they go, that's what you are. You're ugly and you're falling apart and we don't want anything to do with you. And that's sad to me because those people, if you give them just a little bit more time and a little bit more love and attention, those people real soon and watch will become beautiful. And everybody will look and be like, ooh, that is a nice place to be. I wish I was there. So remember that. When you see somebody, don't look at what they are, but look at their potential and then encourage that and help them to become that. So hope you have a wonderful night. We're going to go eat Mediterranean. Oh, good morning. So this morning, we are going to start siding all this area. We already put in a door, and that's beautiful, and it works. And so you want a door to work. You want to swing and then close easily. That's part of life. So we're going to do some of that. We're very excited. Now, I want to talk to you guys about paralysis from overanalysis. And I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of big words, John. I only use words that have 4 letters, and that's pretty much the extent of my vocabulary. We're going to expand on this. Okay. You're being paralyzed because you overanalyze, because you think about it too much and you don't actually do anything. It's what these perfectionists, right? What happens is they go, I'm a perfectionist, so I won't do anything unless I can do it perfect. Nobody can do anything perfect. Get out there and do something. Learn how to do stuff. Do it right, all right? Now let's just take a quick walk over here. Whoa. Oh my goodness. It looks like, what is this? I might get down here. Is this, oh. Miniature Gallagher must have been here. He left his huge sledgehammer and these watermelons. Don't worry, little Gallagher. If you were worried about what people would think of you because you're small or whatever, don't. I'll finish your work for you. Here, Mike, back up. I don't want to get splattered with this. Do you wear your rain suit? Let's take a look. Ready? Come on, little Gallagher. This is for you. Oh, yeah. I understand why he does this for a living. This is great. Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And there's even debris on here. That's better. Oh, hey there. So look, it is late October, and I think everybody knows what that means. We're coming up on the holidays. And a lot of people are like, I love the holidays because I get to do holy things, holy days, holidays. And other people are like, not so much. And let me explain to you why. They're lonely. And so they're used to being able to see people, you know, fairly regularly. But now for the next 3 months, it's going to be, oh, sorry, we're with our family for Halloween, we're with our family for Thanksgiving, we're with our family for Christmas, we're with our family for New Year's. And so from October till January, February, something like that, is a very lonely time for people like myself and other people. So really, I always try to make myself very busy and have a lot of projects during this time of the year, because otherwise I'm like, I'm basically going to sit on my big pillow and cry and scream a song to my cat. That's kind of sad. So, you know, be considerate of people that are alone, or even everybody for that matter. But, you know, the seasons are changing. I'm sure you noticed I was wearing pants the other day because it dropped below 100 degrees because, you know, it's almost Halloween. But let's just see if anything else has changed. Let's take a quick walk. Obviously, we did some siding over here. Oh, my goodness. Is that a... Yep, we're already getting icicles. Yeah, the weather's definitely changed here in Texas, and these are pointy and sharp. And, oh, yeah, that's... You got to be careful of that stuff. These are rare icicles. They're really great stuff, though.
That was not a hard nut to crack.
Oh, huh. You guys are still here. That's interesting. So obviously we put this door in today. We put some siding, more siding up around the corner. We put this siding up and this trim. Then over here, let's take a look. We got all this siding up, not all of it, but a good portion of it. And it's like we are giving this coffee house a facelift, right? Because we're stretching the skin, and we're cutting along the hairline. So I went to this plastic surgery anonymous class, Mike, and the person in charge was like, I see a lot of new faces out there. And I was like, is that because I'm a new face? And I looked around, I was like, oh, these are regulars. It's because they keep getting facelifts. And then I was kind of embarrassed. I thought, you know, these are the type of people, nothing against anybody that gets plastic surgery, I'm just telling a joke and making a point here. They're like, nobody accepts me the way I am. And like, you don't accept you the way that you are. I mean, like, I hate to point out the obvious here, but you don't even accept you the way you are. So I do want to talk about this real quick. A lot of you, a lot of people, and we are bred to do this because our entire lives we've been told, it's somebody else's fault you are the way that you are. You have a disease that makes you the way that you are. You're an alcoholic and that's a disease and it's your parents' fault and their parents' fault. You're a drug addict and that's a disease and that's somebody else's fault. You know, you got ADD and you got whatever in the world, whatever your label is, don't let that define you. Because I know a lot of people that have, and don't take this the wrong way, real diseases and they don't let that define them. I know personally people who are blind who climb Mount Everest. And you're like, it would be very, very, very easy to go, well, I'm blind. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I don't have to do anything. And Mike, your wife.
Yep.
Right? I mean, she's blind.
And does everything.
And she does everything. She keeps the house clean. She, like, is an inspiration to everybody she meets and is a hard worker. Am I wrong?
Yeah, absolutely right.
Right. I know people who don't have legs, who do things, who work hard, that do construction. I know people that don't have fingers, that play tennis against John McEnroe. Like, I know people that do amazing, amazing things that have real problems. I know people that are born and then they end up with type 1 diabetes. I know a lot of these people because I do their shows. And they're like, I'm not going to let this define me. And they go and they do amazing things anyway because they're not going to let their disease or their label define them. So here's my advice to you. If you're like, I don't, you know, it's not my fault I'm this way, it's my parents' fault. How long have you been an adult? Man up. Stop blaming your childhood. Stop being a victim. Man up and be the hero that you want somebody else to be, right? You go and find it within yourself and you go do amazing things. Don't make any more excuses. What you gonna say, Mike?
If you're looking for an excuse, you'll find one.
True story. But if you're looking for a reason to do it, you'll find that too. So push on through and do amazing things and be an inspiration to people because you can do much more than you think that you can. And we only limit ourselves when we listen to lies like that. So don't do that. Anyway, we're going to take the weekend off because I got to do a 48-hour film festival. I'm very excited about it. And then we'll come back Monday to this and do some more. And then soon we're going to be building a new house out in Cleveland. And I'm so excited to show you guys. And then soon, hopefully, if the city of Kennedale ever decides to, then I will start building those 10 houses in my neighborhood. So very, very excited. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Love you, bye. All right, so I never show you how to do roofing, but today I will. First of all, you can see we did some siding and whatever up here. All right, so roofing is interesting if you like really boring things. So what happens is, this is 3-tab composition roofing, okay? And they call it 3-tab because it has 3 tabs. So let's get a piece of these shingles, and as you can tell, 1 tab, 2 tabs, 3 tabs, okay? So what happens is, that's a bad example, there's a tar strip that goes right across here. You put a nail above this line, a nail above that line, and one on each corner, right, in the tar strip. Okay, so when you're having a repair roof, which we do, because this is, you can see how it's rotted down, it's not good, and this is all not great, right, we're gonna fix that. Okay, so what we gotta do is take the shingles off. Now it's easier if we start at the top, but what you wanna do is get under here and get this tar strip loose, right, and a Super Wonder Bar does a really good job of that. Because otherwise it just tears stuff up, you're gonna end up having to tear up everything. So we want to make sure that the nail out here is gone. And now it is. And then this nail. Okay. That gets that shingle off. We're gonna keep doing that until we get everything exposed, and then we'll patch it. And I'll show you how that works too. But basically, you want to get your bar up underneath here and get your shingles loose. Get your nails after that. Okay? Roofing is all about layers. So there's a couple things you don't want to do. You don't want to have, let me just show you. If these were new shingles, right? You don't want to have one right on top of the other because your seam, water will get right down in here and get to the next one and get down in your roof. You don't want that. So these are staggered over, right? They're actually staggered the other way, but they're staggered over like this. And so that way, if water gets between here, it doesn't matter. And then another one covers this up. And so water is never going to get down to where your roof is, where your house is. So that's the concept of roofing, is it's all just layers. Now, I realize that not everybody in the world can go to my church, and I feel sorry for you. I really do. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we talked about this week because I think it's so very important. Lots of us are going through trials at any given point, and I know a lot of people are going through some pretty bad trials, you know, stuff that's just heartbreaking. You want to cry for them. But he brought up, our pastor Gary, who's amazing, brought up a very important point. He said that this guy just got back from space, right? And when he got off the spaceship, after being up there for, I don't know, almost a year, he was strong, his muscles worked, and he was good. But a couple years before, they had sent somebody up to space, and they came back, and their muscles were atrophied, and they were just a mess. They could hardly walk, they could hardly move, they were sick. They had to keep them in quarantine. And the reason why the second one did so much better is because they made a suit that had resistance in it. So all the time, roofing has hook blades supported. So every time he moved, there was these rubber band resistors everywhere in every joint. And so as he would move, even though there's no resistance up in space, it would make him resist. And so he was basically working out all the time and preparing for life back on Earth with gravity. And when he got back down, he was all good. And so all that resistance, that stuff that seemed like it was bad, was actually a really good thing for him. It was keeping him strong so he didn't just basically die. Also I heard about, it's not from church, but I heard about, they got these biodomes, right, where they make this big dome and they have a bunch of plant life in there or whatever. And so they had that, so the thing's covered up and these trees were growing in there, no wind at all. And because there's no wind, then it doesn't have to resist anything, right? So it doesn't have to like fight and make its roots strong. And so what would happen is these big tall trees, perfect environment, would just fall over because they're not strong enough to hold their own weight up. And so a lot of times we feel like, I wish my life wasn't so hard. And you're like, that hardness might be the very thing keeping you alive and keeping you strong. Anyway, I hope that encourages you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm about to tell you the rest of this roofing, but I think that gives you an idea on how to kind of get it off and out of the way if you've been paying attention at all, which maybe you haven't. I don't know. All right, see you soon. So we repaired the bad decking in here, and we put in new, and we got back to studs, and we nailed in there, and now it's solid, right? So now, before it was not great, but now it's all solid, so that's good. Then we put felt. This is synthetic felt. It's tar paper was the old stuff. You can tell there's still some over here, but this is felt, and we want to come underneath the last shingle, and then overlap, and then be over this shingle here, okay? If we didn't have shingles there, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, but we want to overlap layers because if anything does get underneath there, then we want it to roll down and not penetrate through. So now comes the hard part. It's not really that hard. We got to switch back over to hook blade because that's part of life. And hook blades cut the shingles, and straight blades cut the felt. So sorry I didn't have any show prep there. Nevertheless, so then we got our shingles, and like I was trying to show you earlier, these have 3 tabs, and so they're called 3 tabs. Okay, so we want to get on this shingle right here. And you can see it just lines up just like that. You see where the tar line is? It's a lot more prevalent on the new shingles, obviously, right? So that tar line then is going to stick to the next layer, right? Once we get this up on there, then that tar line, once this gets hot, then this tar will stick to this shingle and that shingle won't blow up. So that's important. So the other day, this kid was talking to me, and he says, "Can you put my shoes on for me?" And I'm like, "I don't think they're gonna fit me, kid. Like, you're pretty small." He didn't think it was funny. But I looked at him, I was like, "Hey, your shoes are on the wrong feet." And he looks at me real serious for a minute. He looks at his feet, looks back at me. He's like, "They're the only feet I have." I'm like, "You win this round, kid. You win this round." All right, so you see what we're doing here. Is trying to get all this stuff repaired. So it's going to be easy until we get to the end, and then we're going to have to tuck it up in there with the bar again. But That's how roofing works. It's not really that hard, except for it's hard on your body, and of course you might fall and die, but don't think about that. You know, think about happy thoughts. Because if you skydive without a parachute, you can fly for the rest of your life. A lot of people don't talk about that. Christine, you got anything on your heart? Anything you want to talk about? She says, no, John, don't talk about me. And her last name is something else besides her real last name. I don't know what it is right now. It's Jackson. That's what it is. She's nodding. Yeah, she's Jackson. So these are in coil nails, right? Which means you put a coil on there and then load it, and then you shoot again. And that, my friends, is how shingling works. And I hope that you never have to do this, because it's probably some of the hardest work out there besides concrete. So, anyway, I'll show you a wrap up at the end. Have a wonderful day, or else. So, I apologize, I just went too fast. I've been doing this for a long time. So, as you can tell, that's where the patch is. It looks amazing. And once water goes on it, it will just shed right off. And you'll be like, I don't feel any water in my house. You're welcome. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about what? We want to talk about the fact that we, as a people, and especially as Christians, don't have a knowledge problem. Okay, we don't. It's not that we don't know better. Some people don't know better, but most people do. We have an obedience problem. We hear the truth, and we're like, nope, I don't want to do that. I want to do what I want to do. That's a problem. Here's the other problem we got. We want to blame everybody else for our problems. Nobody wants to take accountability and be like, I did a bad thing and I need to make it right. This started, let me try to think the exact date that it started. When Adam and Eve were in the garden, and then God comes to them and goes, what did you do? And Eve's like, the serpent made me do it. And Adam's like, Eve made me do it. And they immediately start blaming somebody else besides himself, all right? We still do that today. People are like, I messed up. I don't want to confess I messed up, so I want to blame somebody else, and I don't want to be obedient. I just want to keep doing what I want to do, and I want to avoid my problem and like bury it down. So when my son was little, I'm sorry, Ben, I'm going to have to call you out on this because it's a funny story. When my son was little, he got to the age where he could take his diapers off, but he still wasn't potty trained, and he didn't want to sit and poop. And I don't blame him. I don't want to sit and poop, right? I mean, do you? She says, yes? That's so weird. Oh, no, it's a no. It's a no. I'm sorry. And so he would like sneak behind the chair because he's like, something doesn't feel right. I need to get this out. He would take his diaper off, but we're not paying attention because, you know, we're doing anything but thinking about pooping behind the chair. But then he realized, this is gross. This is bad. And I'm a like 1-year-old or whatever, but I know this is bad. So then he'd be like, I need to hide this. So he would rub it into the carpet. And then he was like, try to hide it by rubbing it in the carpet. It never worked. It made it way worse. It always does. It makes it way worse if you try to cover it up. Just go, hey, Dad, you see that? I made a mistake. And I'll be like this. Okay, we'll deal with it, but it's better than rubbing in the carpet. Anyway, I think that it's very important that we admit when we're wrong and that we make it right. And that's the big part of an apology that nobody gets. They're like, I said I'm sorry. And you're like, but your behavior didn't change. You didn't do anything different. That's not a good apology. That's a lame apology. That's, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep doing the same thing. Ugh. 0 stars, would not recommend.
Good morning. You've probably been like, what in the world is John up to? I've been so lonely. I need his inspiration. Well, here I am. We've been doing piddly things, mostly illegal things we can't really talk about. We were smuggling stuff from Colombia. It was coffee. Anyway, so today we're gonna magically, as if by Photoshop, change the color of this place from yellow to gray with white trim. The truth is that it's been very windy, ridiculously windy. And if you spray paint in the wind, then it just all goes on everything else except for where it needs to be, and it's very costly, and then I end up looking like I've got a shadow paint on me. It's not pleasant. So I can't wait for the traffic lights to get involved in this whole going green thing, because it seems like everywhere I go, it's red traffic lights. I don't like that. I want green traffic lights. So Biden, get to work on that with your BLM movement. Well, now BLM stands for Biden Loves Minors, is that right? I think I'm right on this. I'm gonna go do some more research. Oh, you guys are still here watching me. Okay, so as you can clearly tell, we have painted gray 2 coats, and it is beautiful, but it's not all the way beautiful yet. Why is that? Because we still got to do trim paint, and that will really make it pop. That's something that interior decorators would say. And when I was younger, and my daughter was much younger, like, you know, little, then I was using my
non-heterosexual voice. And my daughter laughs and she goes, Daddy, you sound like one of those fashion designers. And I was like, you're not wrong. All right, so spraying paint is so much faster than brushing by hand, obviously. So we're gonna spray all the white, and then we're gonna come back and hand paint all the white around the windows and around the doors and trim, and it will be absolutely amazing. Here's my question to you on this Saturday. Why in the world are you being so stingy with the gospel? And I'm talking to Christians. Why are you being stingy as if some people don't deserve it? As if like, you know what, I don't know if I want to share with that person because maybe they don't deserve the gospel. None of us do. Be nice. Look at that person and be like, ooh, I'm scared of them. And share the gospel anyway, because it's good news. And you might be surprised. They might be just the person that needs to hear it. So I hope that you're having a wonderful Saturday. Hope you're going to a bunch of parties this weekend. Good parties, not bad parties. You know, where you drink water and stuff and laugh with people and encourage them. So love you, bye. Oh, hey. So if you're anything like me, your 5 favorite words are, you're on speakerphone. 5, whatever. Because, look, you don't want to put me on speakerphone. I'm going to say something inappropriate. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. So today, we sprayed 2 coats of gray. It's beautiful. We sprayed all the white that we could spray. Also beautiful. We still have to hand paint around all the windows and trim and things like that. And it is going to make everything pop. I learned that from an interior designer because she knows things and I don't know things. I'm very dull. I'm like a very blunt instrument, like a very just a dull, inexpensive tool, like maybe a sledgehammer that's kind of broken. That's kind of me. All right, so earlier today, I did fall off of a 22-foot ladder. Thank God I was on the bottom rung when I did, or else it would have been tragic. Also, I got stung by a wasp. I don't know if you can tell right here. Ooh, it's horrible. And then my helper was all like, hey, there's a bunch of wasps up there near you, and I'm afraid 20 feet down here, can you kill them? And I was like, yeah, I'll send them to little wasp heaven. And she told me, and I don't know if I agree with her, the wasps don't go to heaven because they look like demons. And they probably are from hell because the devil himself couldn't be here. Therefore, he brought wasps to come and visit us in his stead. Okay? Now, this might go for other creatures too. I don't know, probably mosquitoes. I think most people could agree that mosquitoes are probably from hell and going back to hell at the end of it all. Wasps, probably like rattlesnakes. There's a laundry list of creatures that you're like, I don't think they'll ever be in heaven. But I don't know if that's true. I like to think they go to little wasp heaven. Maybe they got some new little bodies where they don't sting us, doesn't hurt so bad. Here's what I'm asking you guys to do. Please, please. This is so serious. Chime in, okay? You guys chime in about everything else, usually about 3 different topics. And I know who you are. You're gonna chime in and tell me your opinion about whatever in the world, and then you're gonna give me some long, lengthy thing on why you're right and I'm wrong. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna click on the link. But on this one, I'm asking for your opinion. Do you think that wasps, mosquitoes, rattlesnakes, and the like are gonna go to heaven or hell or something else? I don't know, but I do need to know. So it's a Halloween, it's Hallows Eve, and I need to know by All Saints Day, which is Monday, for those of you that don't know good things. All right, talk to you later, bye. Good morning, and welcome to yet another episode of John Works Too Much. I guess it's still the same episode. Anyway, we're winding down, so we're getting all the finishing touches done, and I think I should take this opportunity to explain to you that painting trim by hand is time consuming. And oftentimes, I heard this a long time ago, and at first I didn't believe it, but experience has taught me better. Sometimes something costs 2 or 3 times as much to be 15 or 20% better. But the difference is like, the difference between like, and like, that's pretty cool. So we're taking the time to hand paint all this stuff, and we think it's beautiful. Oh, look, Mike's doing the dance. He's actually a professional dancer, which a lot of you probably didn't know, but it's amazing. He was on, what, Soul Train, Mike? You're on Soul Train, right?
Name it. Soul Train.
Yeah, what else?
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. What else? Who sounds like my ride's here?
I don't remember what that other one was.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't understand what custom means, okay? They're like, that's not custom, that's standard. Almost everything we do, now I'm gonna take that back. Literally everything that we do is custom. Well, let me explain why. If you go to a factory, right? They've got engineers, and these engineers have like taken the time and they spent gobs and gobs of money, and they're like, make it like this, put these pieces together and you will make the thing. Let's call it an iPhone, okay? And then you're like, this iPhone is $1,200. You're like, it doesn't seem like this is $1,200 worth of metal and plastic and glass. And they're like, it's all the engineering that went into it. That's not custom. That's standard. We made 50 million of those. Boom, 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 boom. The machines just print them off. But let's say you wanted that same iPhone. You're like, hey, iPhone factory store, whatever place. We want this same thing with all the same features, exactly the same features, but I want the camera to be over here, and I want this button to be over here, and I want to have the port in the side instead of on the bottom. That will not just be like $1,300, that will be like $1 million, because you have to do a whole bunch more work. So literally everything we do is custom, because we're not just stamping something off the factory press, we're like thinking it through and going, how do we make this work? You just got an engineer who's not the best, who's making it work for you. So anyway, that's the difference between custom and not custom, and what a difference it makes to take a little bit more time. Mike, you want to talk about anything?
Rolling Stones.
Mike's gonna go see Rolling Stones tomorrow. He's super pumped about it. It's really cheap tickets. Poor Mick, like, I don't know how he's even making it these days. And what's his name, Keith Richards?
Yeah.
We don't need to be thinking about the world that we're leaving for our children or our grandchildren.
Everybody talks about Keith Richards, man, but has anybody seen Ron Wood lately?
Right? We don't need to be worrying about what our kids and our grandkids have for a world. We need to be worrying about what we leave for Keith Richards, because that dude is ancient. All right, that's it. All right, so we're here at the last day. It's been about 28 minutes since we started this project. And, you know, that's a long time for us because we're really lazy. Not Mike, but me.
Me too.
We're both really lazy. All right, so settle an argument for me here. I want you guys to chime in. And Mike, you can too. Candy corn does not belong on pizza. Am I right about this?
Wrong.
Oh, you want candy corn on pizza?
Right next to the pineapple.
There you go. Please argue this, please. We just need some more people to argue with strangers on the internet. Also, am I wrong, or is candy corn made out of melted down traffic cones?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure that
Probably the traffic cones are healthier.
they probably are. They probably are. So we got all the trim painted and everything. Now look, I know that some of you guys want to criticize, and I just don't care because whatever, you weren't here and it's not your deal. But thank you for mowing the lawn right now. They're going to replace the windows still. So that's what that yellow mustard looking crusty stuff is. Don't worry, they're going to replace those windows. It's going to happen. It's not part of our job. Not everything in the world is our job. Which, I know, right? Which reminds me, you will not be judged on your intentions. You'll be judged on your actual deeds. Hear me out on this. If you're like, I intend to do X, I want to do X, but then you never do, you don't get judged on that. You don't get rewards on that, and you don't get punishments on that. You get rewards and punishments on what you actually do. Am I wrong?
I've been intending to kill this guy, but I'm
Still,
good, right?
You're still good.
Cool.
Right, let's just keep it at intention. You might want to take that down a few notches to like love your enemy.
Yeah, I'm gonna love him.
I feel like you're gonna kill him with kindness.
Big old hug down the neck.
Oh, not nice. That's not nice, Mike. I think we need to go to church.
You know, one thing.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We are the world.
Yeah, we are the children.
Yeah.
For those of you that were born a long time ago, you'll remember that. What was that, Live Aid? Yeah, Christina doesn't
Michael
remember.
Jackson and Willie Nelson.
Yeah, it's a good combination. Willie Nelson died, you hear that?
No.
He got run over. He was playing on the road again. That's it.